better than that. All right.
Thank you, Tim. I'm just going to
Good
spotlight.
evening. Yes, please do. I don't know these technical things. I'm a technical guy. I'll leave that to you. And what a
Spotlight.
privilege to share virtual stage with you this evening, Angela. This is our first together, which is amazing. I love it.
What a treat. You normally are with, Petra and I are pudding and pie. That's our kind of our nickname. So you usually with pie. It's usually Tim and pie. Now it's Tim and pudding.
Hey, right. Fantastic. So for everybody who's new, if you're into putting a comment in the chat, just type in where you're from. And I like it when people do that, because then you really see that we are an international community. And I've already seen people from, was it New Zealand there, and the US, Zambia,
Midlands.
St. Louis in the USA, Romania, wow, Florida. Okay, there you go. So as people type in, you'll see that what we're talking about here, although Angela and I are both from South Africa and we're in South Africa, this is by no means a South African platform. This is an international community. And we don't only color the world, color your world, we actually color the whole globe.
Absolutely.
So we've got numbers coming in, which is great, but we're on the spot of just after 8 o'clock. So we're going to cut straight into it, I think.
Yes, let's.
Go for it, Angela, over to you.
Over to me. So I'm so excited to introduce you to Tim. I remember months and months and months, maybe I don't know how many months ago, Tim, when you used to do Saturday training, and I'd never been to one of your presentations, but I hopped onto Saturday training because I'd heard about this incredible speaker. And I think there might have been 12 of us. It was like a small group back in the day. And there you were, and you blew my mind, because what I love about Tim, for those of you who are new, is Tim's combination of being able to talk about all of the things that would be construed as soft, combined with fact and experience. And my brain really likes that combination. And he just has a way of putting, as you're about to find out, putting things into language that many of us don't have. So Tim worked in the hospitality industry for 27 years until 2018, when he became happily unemployable after firing his last boss. Tim says that pursuing profits from his own business is far more exciting than earning a salary from a job. Yes, he's now a digital nomad and travels South Africa and soon the world. That's going to be super fun, with his wife and their 2 fur kids after they sold their home and put their possessions into storage. His interests are in personal development and online business, where his passion is in sharing his knowledge to help others reach their goals. His values are health, wealth, and education. So tonight's discussion is aligned perfectly to these. I am so happy to introduce them to you. And over to you, Tim.
Wow, thank you very much. I actually want to hear myself speak after that introduction, see if I can live up to it. So, Angela, while I introduce you, there's a comment. Please, can you spotlight?
Just doing that. Hi, Rebecca. Thank you for joining us.
Definitely. Wonderful to share the stage with you as well. So, fantastic. Well, it's Angela Killian. Some of you maybe recognize her. If you haven't been on our Zooms before, you'll go, well, where's that face familiar? Well, that's because not only has she been on stages around the world in Broadway, in musicals from Cats, Evita, Phantom of the Opera, Sunset Boulevard, My Fair Lady, the list goes on. She's also done a lot of television as well. So it was just before the beginning of COVID, she decided to take a break from traveling in the stage and go into a little bit of corporate, and ended up in environmental sustainability in corporate banking, which is a complete change and must have pushed her completely out of her comfort zone. The one thing that Angela really learned when traveling the world in can imagine the people that she wined and dined with, the rich and the famous. And one of the things that she says is that money does not make the person. And she's seen people with real wealth. When you don't have that why, that dream, that goal, then it becomes pointless. And that's what her passion is. She's got a massive passion for animals, as do I. She's got an excellent way of articulating what we are sharing with you this evening, and comes with experience and knowledge in the background of the whole gifting economy. She's also an ambassador with one of our other colleagues or members, partners in Gift of Legacy, Petra, just One Thing 365, which is a non-profit to help people doing one thing differently 365 days a year. Involved in many other things, humanitarian, the planet, animals, lives, and just being an all-round absolutely amazing person. You're going to get to know her as we go through the journey. So it's a privilege to be sharing a stage with somebody with so much more experience and knowledge than I have. But so what we're going to do is we're going to jump straight in. I'm going to take you through very much the why we're here. And then Angela's going to speak a lot more about the nuts and bolts and the what and the how as we go through this. In the end of it, we've got some very interesting testimonials. So if we've got those skeptics, the people who say, but does this really work? Or I've been scammed before, or I don't know, I've heard about these things. Well, we're going to share some real life stories with you. So please do make notes. I think the chat will be closed while we talk on this, allowing us to just focus on you, the audience. And just if you've got a question, make a note so you can get back to the person that invited you just to run through your questions. And you'll see at the end, we'll show you that there's many more opportunities where you can get further insight into what we're actually speaking about. So before we start, I just want to relate to sort of why this is so important to have a look at something different outside your comfort zone. I very, very rarely read the news, but when something jumped up today in an article that in South Africa, they're talking about introducing a new minimum living wage. I thought, okay, that's interesting. What daft number are they bringing up now? And a living wage, they say, is somebody who can who can survive paying rent, able to afford food, able to afford healthcare, afford transport and schooling. And in South African terms, they say that's about 7,900 Rand a month for one person, or for a family of four, just over 10,000 Rand. Now, in dollar terms, 10,000 Rand is, what is that, $750? Really? That's a living wage? I take my hat off to anybody who could ever survive with that low income, because that must take a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge and ability to do that. My question is why? Why would you just want to stay there? And we've got something that might be able to help you just get way, way above that if you're willing to do something a little bit differently from what you're used to. So let's go straight into it. A lot of information to share, but we want to try and keep it as concise as possible so that you're going to leave here going, that was interesting. I would like more. And that's what we're going to share. So Angela's my driver. I'm the backseat driver. So
I'm sorry. I'm sorry in advance.
No problem. Okay, so I can't remember what's the first slide. I've so struck by that.
Can you see it?
No, I can't. I can just see the very first one. Legacy,
okay,
not the.
Click. There you go.
Click. There we go. The introduction. All right, bring up all the information on each slide, and we'll go through. Yeah. Okay. So, gifting economies. I was first introduced just over a year ago to the gifting economy. I'd never heard of it before. Now, Angela said that I've been working in online businesses. Well, in fact, for over 6 years now. When I was first introduced to cryptocurrencies, I went online. And I'd never heard of this before. And when I first found out about it, I thought, now this is interesting. You see, over the many years, perhaps like you, or maybe you know somebody who I lost a lot of money. Now, they're all very expensive educations in life, but I wanted to stop being educated and start making some money. And suddenly this gifting economy just ticked a lot of boxes where I'd seen issues and problems with online platforms before. And what happened was a group of very intelligent people from around the world got together last year and said, we can make this sustainable, real, and worldwide so that it actually can work on a consistent basis. And when I found out about this, I knew this was going to change millions around the world. So if you've seen a gifting economy before and you say, I've seen it, I know the problems, just hold on for a moment there. So one of the things that we need to understand in the economies around the world, and it's been fast-tracked over the last 2 years since we've all been in lockdown, whatever you want to call it, is the world's economy has changed. Now you can read that slide, take a screenshot if you want. There's a very interesting book. Perhaps you want to go and do some self-education. The thing that I take from this is if we're doing the same things repeatedly, you're going to get the same results. And if what you're doing isn't giving you the financial results that you're looking for, perhaps you need to look at something different. As it says, a new economic paradigm. So we're in a completely changed economy. We're in a changed world. And that's one thing that drives us to being here to share with you. So disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. Angela's not, none of us in fact are. In fact, we're all volunteers. We're not paid. We are just members of this amazing community who have perhaps been around for a little bit longer than most. So we're here to share it as we want to really help many, many others. So don't take our advice or don't take it as advice. Take it as just information for you and learn from yourself. Get back, go to tax advisors to find out how should you be dealing with this correctly. Speak to the experts and the people within this type of economy and environment to find out really what it's about. If you go onto Google and all that, it's just the toilet bowl of the universe. Anybody can post nonsense there. That's why we're going to share with you real life stories. And well, we are testament to that, I hope, as well.
Yes, indeed.
So who's it for? Sure, you can read what's on the slide there. If I look from a personal perspective, it is for somebody who enjoys helping others and gets value out of actually giving. Now, I've been in a fortunate position for many years where I've financially helped a lot of people. And it was a couple of years ago that my wife and I said, but stop, we've got to start looking after ourselves. We were giving family, friends, and so on. It was a fortunate position. However, we were never putting ourselves in a position of real security. So I've got a passion for helping myself financially, my family, thereafter, my extended family, friends, communities, etc., etc. So very much people who are of a giving and receiving nature. People who want to take control of their life, have a look and trying to say, as I've already described, I need something different in order to have the life that I actually want. So if you've got yes to any of these points, you're in the right place. But please, it's perfectly fine to say it's not for me. Now, here's a couple of golden nuggets, and I call them nuggets because they're really, really valuable about this type of community in why we're doing what we're doing. One of the things is having a perpetual gifting economy. Now, anything to me that's perpetual, I love. And a perpetual economy about gifting, that sounds very appealing. So I worked for 27 years in hospitality, as Angela said. But when I resigned from my last job, I fired my boss, in fact. I don't advise doing it until you've got multiple incomes, but hey, it's felt good. None of my clients or businesses or jobs that I had
Tim is frozen. Oops. Tim, I think this comes with being a digital nomad. We've lost you a little bit. Can you speak again? No.
So when I came across income where you can on an ongoing basis, that true abundance. Now,
oh, sorry, Tim, we lost you. We lost you on that slide.
Effectively, ongoing income. Oh,
you're back.
Yeah. I'm going to do is I'm going to stop my video. I'm stopping my video just to make sure.
Okay, will you go back on the slide? And we lost you at why you like perpetual.
Okay, perpetual income. Do the work once and continue to get it. Doesn't that just make sense? So once you've done things once, and yes, you do need to do things, you can then start to create abundance, not only for yourself, but everybody else around you. Here's a key thing for me, which is very important: self-development. If I just took the knowledge and experience that I had from hospitality and I tried to apply all of that into this environment, I would fail abysmally. Self-development and learning some new skills was a critical part in anything outside of the environment that I was used to. So that does become very important. We do a lot of training to help anybody say, well, how can I maximize this? What do I actually do about it? Sacred economics, financial gifting. Now, in the environment that I've been around, I learned that, in fact, gifting economies have been around for, well, centuries, and for over a decade in the online or electronic platform. And you can see some numbers on the screen there. In South Africa, we call it the Ubuntu culture, which is all about communities. This is about communities helping each other for financial gain. And the great thing about this type of economy is that it's 100% legal. Now, maybe off mainstream, and a lot of people won't understand it, but there's actually sections of gifting economies written into the South African Income Tax Act as well. Do your own research, you can find out that as well. So it's fantastic. So very unique type of economy. Link this to the slide I spoke about with that book earlier on as well. Blessing millions around the world, without question. I've already seen the numbers of people who are being in a very fortunate financial position just in the short 4.5 weeks that we have actually been live. So this is about sharing, and it's about educating, giving hope, and blessing people everywhere. There's no limitations of border that I'm aware of in any country around the world that wouldn't allow this. And when you join Gift of Legacy, as Angela will explain to you, a platform holds no money. So that means there's no FICA or KYC, which would mean that all you do is you put in your name, email address, cell phone number so that people can contact each other. Angela will explain that. But a key point is that this is about helping other people, and with money directly means that, well, we're able to actually do things a little bit differently in this environment. Here we go, decentralized. Okay, for those who aren't in the online platform, perhaps you're not really understanding what decentralized and centralized, this word is a new age word going around. Well, Gift of Legacy is not a company. It's not owned by an individual. And being the fact that it actually makes no money, it makes it even more appealing and interesting. There's no brokers, no traders. And in fact, if a trader or broker says, look, let me manage your profile for you, I would not recommend that at all, and it's absolutely not necessary. Got a very interactive website that is purely here to control the movement of the boards, and Angela will explain what that means, and introducing each other within the community to each other so that then we can share in the gifts. So all you need is a computer or a smartphone, and I think most people have got one these days, and access to the internet. This presentation is not only on Zoom, it's on YouTube, because a lot of people might struggle with the amount of data that Zoom has, so join on YouTube. Get WhatsApp, get Telegram, essential parts of communicating and learning about what we do as well. Peer-to-peer, now this to me was the big nugget, that nobody else was holding my money for me. Now 2 years, where is it now? Just over a year ago, I was 90% wiped out, because the business partner that I was dealing with held all the money. And he disappeared. He's not been seen since, actually. I know a number of people who've been stuck in positions like that. So when I found that this was peer-to-peer, person to person, the money moves from one person to another. No middle person, no nothing, no fees taken by anybody else. That was a big thumbs up golden nugget for me as well. And really does start making it 100% risk-free. Perpetual, I've explained this already. This is ongoing. Do something once, and that perpetual boards is extremely powerful. I understood it, but only after about a month or so when I suddenly started seeing the true impact of this. And Angela's going to take you through some numbers very shortly. This is way more than just an economy or gifting. This is about helping many, many other people. As I said, it's not for everybody, but it is for somebody who wants to build their own wealth, help others, and building and creating a legacy. So we're a community. We're here to change lives. Angela's going to take you through some numbers. You decide whether the risk and the upside is worth it for you. And I'll catch up with you shortly.
Amazing. Thank you, Tim. Sure. Well, as Tim was saying, we are sharing based on our personal experience over the last year. It's actually been over a year now in this gifting community. So how do you get started? As I share this with you, I just want to say one thing quickly. Try as much as possible. When the brain gets something new, it gives you all the reasons why this is something that you shouldn't look at. And, it kind of throws all of those preconceived ideas at you. That certainly happened to me. And that's okay. That's just natural. All I would say is that neither Tim nor I are here to convince you of anything. This is merely to show you and offering an opportunity of something that has made a difference in our lives and the community around us, who are now, if we look at our Telegram group for a start, there's already almost 10,000 people on there. That's and we've got more in our community. So you make up your mind. But this is how we started. When we joined this community, we gifted in $100 into, as Tim was saying, the self-perpetual system. And this is the one and only time you will ever have to take money out of your own pocket. Yes, you are going to be using gifts to advance yourself on the boards that I'm going to show you, but you will be able to use gifts that you've received. So $100 is all that you need from your own pockets. And again, something that is really is a game changer for me, and as Tim was saying, is that this gifting is purely peer-to-peer, and that 100% of these gifts are given to someone else. So when we say you gift in $100, you're not gifting that into a platform. You're not paying that as a joiner's fee or any of those things. You are literally getting hold of another human being on their mobile number, on their email address, however they have shared with the algorithm for you to get hold of them. And you're going to be gifting them directly and saying, where can I send your $100? And they will receive that, and you will be part of Gift of Legacy. It is as simple as that. So at the moment, we are using a couple of platforms to do that. Airtime, Wise, PayPal, WorldRemit, Revolut, bank transfer, crypto. There's a number of ways. If someone lands on a board and is gifting, where they would say, I have this and this available, where would you like to gift me? But the most important part here is that there is no middleman or third party involved ever. So your $100 is gifting straight into someone else's life, into their dreams and their hopes. Okay, I'm going to take you through these boards and I'm going to show you, we'll be represented with the orange dot, how you join the board and how you gift the legend, how you're going to share Gift of Legacy with like-minded people who will do the same. There are 4 boards I'm taking you through: $100, $400, a $1,600, and a $5,000 board. I'm going to show you your journey as a gifter, a builder, a guide, and to legend on each of the boards. Little side note, look, there's only 3 positions that you need to go through to be able to get to the legend, to the receiving position. And your journey through the boards, the first time through, I'll show you how you receive gifts totaling $42,700. Now I say that number like it's just, $42,700, but I don't know anywhere that you can gift another person $100 like a birthday present and on a journey with them receive $42,700. And once you're in the perpetual cycle, that becomes $49,700. That's a 501% return on that gift that you gave, which, for people who are in the money game, and for me right now, I play in corporate banking, those numbers are pretty impressive. So let's have a look at what that looks like. I'm going to take you through the bronze board in detail. So focus a little bit on the pointers here. And then the next 3 boards, they all work exactly the same, except for the fact that on the bronze board, that's where you gift your $100 and where you're going to introduce a minimum of 2 friends, family, like-minded people to come with you on this journey. So let's have a look at what this looks like. You enter with $100, you exit with $800. So this is what a bronze board, well, this is what it used to kind of look like. Now we've just had a beautiful system makeover with our beautiful color, your life palette. And so it looks a little bit different, but this is a perfect description for us to show you how it works. How it works does not change. When you gift onto the board for the first time, someone has shared this with you, probably someone who knows you and thinks that it might be something that'll resonate with you, might be able to help you in your financial journey, or maybe they feel like you could do with being part of this amazing community. You will be gifting onto a $100 board. You will land in one of these gifter positions depending on who invited you. The one thing that will always happen, though, is that every gifter, all 8 gifters on this board, are gifting the legend on the board, not the person who invited you, unless they happen to be in the legend position. You will be gifting the legend on the board $100. You will get hold of them. When you log into the system, there will be the legend position. You'll click on it and it'll give you the person's name and their email address and their contact number, and you will get hold of them and say, in our case, I'll use Tim as an example. Hi, Tim, I'm Angela. I am on your $100 bronze board. I'm gifter number 1. Where can I send your gift? And Tim, when we're short of role playing here, Tim will say something along the lines of, wow, that's amazing. Welcome to the community. Lovely to meet you. Thank you. And I am, at the moment, somewhere in South Africa, wonderful, as a digital nomad. So would you please either send this to me into my bank account if you're in South Africa? He might ask you if you have cryptocurrency, whatever. He might say, actually, you know what? I've got my dogs with me while I'm looking at them. There's an animal shelter that really needs some help at the moment. Please, will you send your gift to the animal, this particular animal shelter, and they can benefit from my gift. It really is between you and the legend where your $100 goes, because no one else is getting any portion of it. And that's it. Now you're on the boards. Now, while you're in this gifted position, this is where you make sure you come to the training, you look at the YouTube videos, you get to understand how it works. And you start thinking about, once you understand it, who might be able to come along this journey with you, because the requirement to advance through Gift of Legacy is a minimum of 2 people, which is amazing, because for those of us who've been in other spaces, it feels like a bottomless pit when you have to constantly go, constantly bringing in more and more people. And that was the one reason I was afraid when I was introduced to this, because I wasn't so worried about the $100. That was doable for me. I just didn't really want my reputation to be tarnished. If I was going to be messaging all of my friends and they're like, oh my gosh, is she involved with that thing again? And what does she want? I was afraid of that. For those of you in that space, no need to worry, because that's not what we do. We're not trying to sell people anything. This is just something that we share with 2 people and bring them on our journey. So once all 8 gifters have joined your board, the legend will confirm the last person and the board is going to spin, and you will move from the gifter position to the builder position. Now, the builder position is exactly what it is. It's at this point in time, now that you have a better understanding of, Gift of Legacy, of how and what and how it works, where you want to best practice, bring your 2 invitees in, and you will bring them in. That would be the perfect picture. If you brought those 2 just underneath you. This is not MLM, so we don't build in very set down lines and up lines and all of across lines, whatever it might be. It's just ideal if you want to journey them with you to have them at this point. But the board will, this $100 board is where you grow your community. So more importantly is to see if there's anyone else on the board that also needs to bring someone in. And if you've got extra people, could you help them? You work together. This is how we get to know each other as a community. So it's not just about you and your 2. Yes, that's important, because as Tim was saying, you've got to look after yourself first and foremost. But that's where now we start working together as a community on this board to help each other to build. Once the builders have all brought in their 8 gifters, the legend's going to confirm the last gift on the board. And again, the board is going to spin. And this time you arrive in the guide position. Now, for those of us who've been to the guide position, it is really exciting, because it's kind of, it's like that last little bit of excitement. One more load of gifters to come in before you land in the receiving position. So you've been a gifter. you've helped to build, and now it's your turn to help those on the board who are newer, to see if they need help. Do they need to come to a presentation? How can you help them, and how can you help the legend in receiving? And that's all you have to do at this point. Once again, all 8 gifters have joined the board is going to spin, and now you land in the legend position, which is your legacy. This is where you are able to receive. You've put in all the work, and it's your turn to receive. And this is where you will receive $100 times 8. So on your first board, you will receive $800 in gifts. But remember, I said you are going to advance, and I'm going to show you what that advancing looks like. So it's at this point, you don't want to just take all $800 and just go and spend it in one go. Here's the best way that you can use your gifts on the board. You'll take the $800, and this is certainly what we've done and what we practice, is we hold back on the first board $400 to advance ourselves to the silver board. But at the same time, remember that perpetual word that Tim was talking about? Well, this is the exciting part. You need to take $100 to move yourself into the perpetual bronze cycle. Why? Because this is where it becomes passive income. Once you you go back into the cycle, you've gone from legend, you go back in as a gifter again, and you gift another legend, and you start moving through the board. So on your first board, out of that $800, you're using 400 of your gifts to advance yourself, and you're using 100 to enter a perpetual cycle. And that you can do over and over and over again to infinity and beyond. Take note though, once you're on a perpetual board, because you've already advanced to the silver board, you don't need to use $400 of your gifts any longer. That only happens once, on the first time through. Now, every single time you go through a perpetual 100 bronze board, you will keep $700 over and over and over again. So that's why we all love the word perpetual, and that's where you want to get to, so that you're not building and building and building the whole time on a board, but that you are able to, once you've built, once you've got your everything set up, you're able to sit in this perpetual cycle. And as long as you are faithful in gifting your $100, you will always receive, and you will always be able to keep 700. But it's the advancing that gets super exciting. So let's have a look at the silver board. You kept back $400. Just a note, you don't need to bring another 2 people to the silver board. There is an aspect to that, which Tim is going to share with you a little bit later. But right now, you're just going to use 400 of your gifts to enter the silver board. Now, when you exit the silver board, you're exiting with $3,200. Why? Because these gifters are all entering this board with $400. So you're receiving $400 times 8. The exact same process, you go through gifter, builder, guide to legend, and you receive the 3,200, and now we do the exact same thing. You're going to take $1,600 of your gifts on your first time through a $400 board, and you're going to use that to advance to the gold board. And at the same time, you're going to take one of your gifts, and you're going to re-enter a silver perpetual cycle. So you'll keep $1,200 US, and you're going to use that 400. But again, look at this. Now, every single time you enter, that just bounced back a little bit, but let me just see if I can go back on it. Never mind. Every single time you enter a $400 board with your 400 and you exit with your 3,200, because you've already advanced to the gold board now, you will get to keep $2,800 every single time. So that is fantastic. Let's have a look at what the gold board looks like. The exact same thing. You enter with 1,600 this time. You move through gifter, builder, guide into legend. When you're a legend, you're going to receive $12,800. That starts becoming super, super exciting. If the $400 board wasn't enough for you, this is fantastic. And certainly in South Africa and many countries that are represented on this call tonight, that is a significant amount of money for any household. So same thing here. This time, you're going to receive, of those $12,800, you're going to keep $5,000 to move yourself to the platinum board. This is the last board that we have right now. So it's $5,000 board is the top board. And you're going to use $1,600 to re-enter the perpetual gold cycle. and you will keep $6,200 in your pocket. Now just look at this amazingness again. You're keeping $6,200 now, but once you enter the perpetual cycle, every single time you're going to keep $11,200. That's like double that every single time, over and over and over again. And I just want to make a note on that before we move on to the platinum. It is also another reason why this is not like a pyramid scheme or the pyramids you have in business. Because here you enter as a gifter. 3 spins later, you're a legend. We all gift and receive the exact same amount of money. Once you've been a legend, it's your turn again to go around in a cycle and re-enter as a gifter. Then you're going to go through to legend and you're going to go back to gifter. So no one stays at the top, but nobody stays at the bottom either in this space. And that is something that is really worth keeping in mind when you have a conversation with people and they come up with many theories if they haven't really seen what this looks like. So $5,000 board, you enter with $5,000. This is the top board, so there's nowhere else to advance to. So by nature, it is already a perpetual board. You're exiting with 40,000 US dollars. Yes, please. Can't wait to be on that board. And you have completed round 1. Now, every time you're just going to use 5,000 over and over again to enter that perpetual cycle, and you will always keep 35,000 US dollars in your pocket. If you have a calculator close by, do that dollar exchange rate and see what that looks like, because it's something that gives us, we call it the gift of legacy grin. You know, it's a silly, stupid smile that when you get to those boards, you're like, why is my life so good? So every single time, over and over again, perpetual cycle. And as long as you are faithful in gifting and receiving and continuing that journey on, these boards will continue to be perpetual. And this is something that you really will be able to will on to your family, or to someone that you love, or to a charity that you love for when you're not here. It's not something that goes when you go. Like, these positions are here for as long as this community is faithful in gifting and receiving. So let's do a quick recap on that. On round 1, you're going to have entered with your $100. You're sharing this with 2 like-minded people who will do the same. And on your first journey through the board, you will receive 42,700 US dollars. That is a mathematical certainty. That's of unconditional gifts in your pocket. That is only the first time round. Once you are in the perpetual cycle, every time you move through all 4 boards, you will receive 49,700. That is aside from the gifts that you are using to move through the boards. How does it get better than that, Tim? Would you like to share some guidelines with us, please?
Wow. It's yeah, exactly. How does it get even better than this? So let's just go through a couple of guidelines over here. Very important as part of the community and for this whole economy to work is that we all do our part, and the part is bringing 2. You're welcome to bring many more, but 2 people invited to join is the bare minimum that everybody would need to do. In order to be on the perpetual systems, you would have needed to bring in your 2 by the time you're legend. Don't wait until you're legend, because everybody wait till they're legend, then nothing's going to happen. This is a community that is based upon things happening in movement and the flow of money and the flow of the economy, and then the flow of people. However, if you haven't brought in your 2, then you're not going to be able to go over to the perpetual boards. You're not going to be able to progress onto the 400. You're going to be sidelined. And if you're sidelined, that means that you don't lose your position. You don't start all over the bottom again. You just move aside. When you're ready with your 2, and I think by the time you've received your $800, you're going to go, okay, this is real. I need to bring in 2 people. Then you bring in the 2. Then you're going to be able to continue on your journey. And that's when you're going to start be able to maximize on the perpetual boards. Understanding that moving onto perpetual boards or for any of the boards to cycle needs all of those 8 gifting positions. Okay, so why are we unique? Very user-friendly, very straightforward, simple online platform, being the fact that it is very new still, a lot of updates and changes. So the cell phone structure and format went live about a week ago, very user-friendly. Fail-safe, it's here, it's written, the algorithm's there. There's a lot of computer technology, which we don't need to go into right now. Just like I know gravity works, I just don't understand it. Well, I know these algorithms work. I might not understand them, but they work. I've seen it. And the innovation behind, as I've said right from the beginning, with these intellectual minds that got together that said, we've got a way to solve other issues that can happen in online platforms. Cross-pollination is a very, very exciting one. And this helps with the movements of some of the boards that perhaps are going a little bit slower. So we don't leave people behind, but everybody needs to do their part. And then you'll see that other people might join your board, and that is there to just help move you along. And that's also the power of the perpetual, where it's in fact not a perpetual board. You become perpetual in yourself on a board. That's what helps moves them forward, and is one thing that's unique. Community around the world, we've said that. Bring your two, but don't limit yourself. If you want to fast track, you say, how can I do this better? I'm a network. I love talking to people, and I'd say 1 in 10 people love doing this. The 9 of 10 go, fear, don't want to, not certain, don't like networking. Well, that's fine. Bring in your two. But if you're one of those who says, I want to do more and fast track this, we've got a way to actually help you get there quicker, as long as you're playing and you're bringing more than your two in. Support bot, well, that would mean that Angela and myself are robots. I don't think so. We've been called bots before. The support bot at this stage is people. As we're new, and the whole platform is new, we need people, and so we're all just volunteers. And I'd say, please be kind to them, as we got volunteers from around the world, and you're welcome to put your hand up and say, hi guys, I'd love to volunteer to help build up this community. We're always looking for more people.
Oops.
This is not paid, but we see the bigger picture. Fast track, available online on YouTube. We will have some more training now actually live. People, it is possible to actually fast track the structure, but we'll take that outside. Have I lost you again?
Just a little bit, yeah. You've gone a bit cracky. You're back. You're back.
Okay, well, I'm still here. Let's go off fast. I'm back. Okay. Fast track for those who want to bring in way more people. Get onto YouTube. Join our train to find out how to take advantage of this. Right now, we're not going to go through that in detail, but just to say, for the real people who say, let's add more, let's bring communities, there's ways that you can speed things up as well.
Yes.
And we're coming to a slow close. There we go. Reminder, like-minded people. Oh, no filling spaces. That's a very critical one. Understand, when we say bring in two, when you bring in your two, that also means it's got to be duplicated, that those two bring in their two. So there's no point in you joining Granny if Granny's 95 and not going to be speaking to anybody. If you want to bring in Granny, that's fine. But understand, you're going to be managing Granny's account, and Granny needs two. If you're going to put your pet budgie in there, it will not be recommended, as it's very unlikely your pet budgie is going to bring in two. It does need to be a real person. Fill those positions with people who actually want to be part of the community. You may think that you're going slower by doing it that way, but you're actually making it sustainable and consistent.
Yeah.
That's what we want. We're here for life. We're here to build legacies, not just to make $800 quickly and then run away.
Yeah.
Where are we? Do not present a gift of legacy. Okay, don't misrepresent. Don't go onto YouTube, please. Don't not YouTube. What's that thing? Facebook. That's the funny one. And all those places. This is by invitation. Join our Zooms. Bring people along. Stay connected. Follow the AIDA training. And if you don't know what that is, then on the Telegram channel, on the pins at the top, you'll find it up there. You'll find it on YouTube. This is training to help you understand how to go through a process if you've never spoken to people before. And that's fine. That's why we're here, to help you do this. Join those training sessions. So there's a lot of things that are here that are available for you. Very important. No guarantees. If you come in, you don't do anything, well, it's the same as just not turning up to your job. You ain't going to get anything. You've got to do something. Become part of the community. Success or failure is based upon what you do. It remains your individual role to find out your tax requirements in your country, how you're going to structure it. We're not here to teach you about how to get rid of, gifting. You don't have to pay tax and whatever. Just make sure that you're compliant. Speak to your accountant, speak to your bookkeeper in your country. It may vary. Just know what you're doing. We're here to be sustainable long term, and we want to encourage you to follow, be legal and compliant. We're decentralized. We've been through this. We're not owned by anybody. This is peer-to-peer. And we've got a long way to go in our journey. We've only just started. This is powerful. And it is, we're going to share some stories with you. Oh no, there's one more slide.
Just a quick training reminder. So for those of you, Tim, you've gone into slow-mo again, slow mode.
Take a screenshot of this.
We lost you there for a second. I think we heard screenshot. That's very good advice. Take a screenshot of this.
Take a screenshot of this. And I found out today that there's even presentations in Finnish.
How amazing is that?
Every week there's I think there's also presentations in American because we've got funny accents. In other words, there's presentations all the time. So, they're all around the world. Take a screenshot, join the Telegram groups to find out where they are. You've got friends around the world, hook them into the different presentations. This is a global economy. That's what you want to take your take a screenshot of. Join the communities, the info-only group. And right now, I think we're going to share testimonial. This is what I want to get to. Let's forget about the rest of this technical stuff. We get it. The people are saying, okay, that money sounds brilliant. It sounds too good to be true. Is it? Now, Angela, you've got somebody to introduce to the community. Yes. I think some people already know who it is.
I need to find Hannah. Have you got your, let me see if I can find you quickly here. Is your video, there we go, Hannah, your video is on. Let me ask you to unmute. So many of you might have seen, well, if you've joined the testimonial group, which we really encourage you to do, you would have seen Hanley's amazing testimony about her why she's doing this. And of course, for myself, Tim, Petra, many people in this community, the animal lovers, this one certainly spoke to us. So welcome, Hanley. It's good to have you here with us.
Welcome, Hanley. Wonderful.
Thank you so much, Angela, for the invite. And Terry, you're doing an amazing job there, my friend. If I buffer, please show me, Angela, that I stop. But I do know that a testimony is so much more powerful when you can actually see that person, that you see that's a live thing and not a bot. So this community actually saved my life. I know it's an animal testimony, but I just want to tell you how I got about this. I started the gifting community like in 6 months ago. It was June the 10th. When I was out and down with the virus and I didn't know how to survive. I was desperate. And a friend of mine said, listen here, I've got something that can help you. And I said, oh gosh, tell me, because I'm desperate. And he helped me with this. And I joined. And when I was back to work and everything was running smooth again, I decided, and I think for myself, wow, this is an awesome opportunity to help my animal community, because I'm in rescue work, I think, since ever I can remember. And as Angela I think Angela said, it's so awesome because you can literally ask the gift to be dropped into your nearest vet or your other rescue agencies that need this desperately. So my why is absolutely caring and saving for animals. I am in a small town, Uppington, with 70,000 people. It's not that small, but we don't have any support, no SPCA, no government or any support whatsoever. So everything must come out of the community here. And I'm literally using this gift to help other animals. I'm mostly in the cats. My dream, no, not my dream. What I'm going to do in the near future is I'm going to build a big cat sanctuary and a cat coffee shop, a petting coffee shop. So I
I love
spoke
it.
to one of I spoke to one of my friends, and he's a doctor, and he said, you know what's the baddest thing in the life? People who desperately need animals, like old people, sick people, and single people. That's me. Don't have the opportunity to have animals because they're not allowed to keep them in small housings and flats and stuff. So I decided I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a petting coffee shop where you can come and relax for an hour a day, whatever you want to do, with a lot of rescue cats that you can pet or play with or whatever you want to do. So yeah, that is my dream, and that is what I'm going to do in the near future with this. So I am thankful, absolutely thankful for this, because it saved a lot of lives. And not only in my community, I'm trying to get blankets to people in need when it was still cold in June, July. But now I'm helping animals, getting them shelters, even this black boxes. We getting some of those. We've got a guy cutting them open, and we put them all over where we need cats to have shelter. So yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you for all this. And I'm so blessed to be part of this awesome community. My one share that I want to leave you, everybody, with is in life, you must give more than what you gain. That is truly life.
Oh,
Thank you for the opportunity.
beautiful.
Love you all.
Thank you, Hanley. And you know, I must tell you, the Cat Cafe, when I was doing Cats of all things, Cats a musical in South Korea, and they have they've got cat cafes all over Korea. So I had been in there with coffee and cats everywhere. I mean, those are a little small and slightly disturbing, but the most magnificent. Those animals are not on the street, and you know, and then we as humans, you get to enjoy them. So what a beautiful why. I love that. Thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you,
As
guys.
a suggestion to anybody, I've personally, my wife and I, we've got a non-profit for animal welfare, where our focus is to help those who are working in animal welfare do what they do better. And so I registered a position in Gift of Legacy for that animal welfare. It's called the Pluto Foundation. So anybody's gifting into the Pluto Foundation, 100% of those gifts go directly to our nonprofit. And I was chatting to somebody today who's got a nonprofit for children, and I said, this is what I actually do, because of course, for charity, always putting out your hand is such a difficult thing. You're permanently trying to find money. Well, we've got a way actually for nonprofits to get that as well. So powerful. Thank you so much. That's wonderful. Lovely to meet you. We're going to be talking. There's so much. I love your thinking. It's brilliant stuff.
Amazing. I know. And just on that, Tim, I don't know if you've got someone else that's coming on. Have you invited someone else to give testimony?
What I would like to do is actually go into the Telegram group to show people that this is live and real, and to encourage people actually to use the Telegram group. If you're speaking to those who say, well, I'm a bit skeptical, I don't know. So let's spend the last, we've got 5 minutes. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, we've got, let me just, sorry, I've got to move, where are we? Yeah, let's get that out of the way. Right. The testimony, and I think on the chat group there, you can get the actual links. You'll see that this is for testimonies only. So this is where people are only putting testimonies. So let's have a look over here at what somebody said. Okay, this one's very, very long, about just being absolutely grateful. There was one up somebody posted earlier on, and I hope they don't mind that we actually bring it up. Here we go. This is from Zelda. Now you can see that now there's already 2,500 or 3,000 people on this group. So we can't bamboozle 3,000 people. This is real. My heart is overflowing with love and appreciation. Today is 4 weeks ago when I joined this amazing journey. I landed 16 days later as legend on my own board. Last night, I blessed my legend an unconditional $400 on his silver board. His board got full in 30 minutes and is about to split. I'm on my way to Builder. So this person, after 16 days, was gifted their $800 and now is on a perpetual 100 and also a 400 board. So thanks to Zelda. And so these are real life stories. There was another one. Where are we? I received my first $100 gift last night and my second one when I woke up this morning. I feel over the moon blessed. How can this day get any better than this? That's from
Amazing.
Krista Possible. So we did some training on the weekend. Here is Leon. I haven't practiced this. I'm just reading these. I would like to share with you a little bit about myself and those who joined in the wonderful journey. Before I talk about myself, I would also to thank Valencia, who sponsored the GL family on 40 January. She believed in me, put her trust in me, and sponsored me. And now a little bit about me, married in Pretoria. My wife is very fortunate to work in the caring industry. I'm myself unemployed, so my income depends on myself and my clients. The reason I joined GL is not about me and my wife. It's also more important that my sister lives in a small caravan, very poor community. I want to change not only my sister's world, but also other people in the world, poor communities. This is one of the many reasons why I joined GL. My testimony is that you can say all this from deep, that my heart and I believe this will come true to me and will happen. So here you got somebody absolutely who is about helping others. And so it's not only those who've got money initially, it's also for everybody else who wants to get in there. So this is available. It's a testimony group. I think, where are we? You can go back a long way. When I heard about GL 2 months ago, and this person's in America and Fiji and how it's helped others, go on this group, share this testimony group, and this is one very powerful way that you can help other people see that it's real. So there's some recorded ones. I've got a testimony on here as well. And so you can actually see the real impact.
Yeah, it's very powerful, because the bottom, at the end of the day, we want to hear your stories. There's no greater joy when you've been in this community than watching someone else to receive. And it's amazing when someone receives that first $100 gift. You've never seen people happier to see other people succeed in all your life. And I remember when I got my first $100 gift was from Granny Sylvia. Many of you know the story. And I cried. I was like, oh my gosh, because I couldn't believe that I didn't have to work hard for money, and that the universe would just bless me in this way, because I thought that I was just supporting a friend and that I'd probably just thrown $100 away. So, many hundreds of dollars later, thousands of dollars later, after being in this community, I still remember that first $100 gift that I received, and the sacredness of that moment. So let people see that testimonial group. It's where we all share our stories. Cans and everyone else, happiness. We got 2 minutes to go. Tim, I think you're frozen again. There you go.
Yeah, I'm back. All right. Well, we're in Paternoster, which is on the west coast in South Africa, and the internet is up and down, up and down. It's one of the challenges you have when you're traveling. Well, it's fine.
Tut,
we'll live
tut.
with it.
We do not feel sorry for
Otherwise,
you. You live in the dream.
So tomorrow evening we have, as today there was a shuffle around. So tomorrow I understand it is Petra and Regan. So I'd encourage you to join. If this is your first time, do come back again. See the same story from a different perspective, because this might be very unique and in a different environment for you. So to pick up from some other people, various people through the week. That's why Monday to Friday we're here, different presenters all the time, as well as all the different languages. Stick around, and I wish you all the best in your decision. Get back to the person that invited you here. We look forward to maybe one day that you'll present. We're always looking for new presenters. You're welcome. So Angela, it's a privilege to have shared the stage, the virtual stage with you this evening.
Thank you, Tim. What a joy for me. Such an unexpected surprise. Yay. Thank you. And we'll see you in Cape Town in a few days' time. Yay.
Wonderful stuff. Fantastic. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you again.
Let's hear the sheep.
You're unmuting everybody.
Yeah.
Owen, thank you very much to the fittest person down there in bottom. Thank you so much.
Good presentation.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Angela.
You did a good
Thank you,
job.
Rebecca.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye,
Andy.
Candice. Chris. Hey, everybody.
Bye.
Chris.
Bye.
Chris and Co.
Romania, bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, guys.
See
God
you
bless.
tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, guys.
Bye, Christy.
See you
Bye,
soon.
tree of love.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
My cheeks hurting from smiling.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.